So 2 ladies, 1 gentleman, Thomas, Sylvia, and Mrs. Naomi. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the studio. It's good to have you on a Friday morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Since you're all from CSIR, did you come with some food? You know, we like food. You know.
Definitely, we have a package.
Oh, you brought something?
Sure.
God bless you. Unimajumano. Yeah. So you are Naomi, I believe.
Yes.
Sylvia is here to my left, Naomi. Good. So let me start with Naomi, Director of Commercialization. What are we commercializing?
No, I think that's Naomi. Naomi is the one to talk about commercialization for CSIR.
Yes.
I mean,
so for
but
all
Naomi,
of it,
tell us what CSIR is all about, because we talk about CSIR
all the time.
At times we don't know what it's all about.
Okay. Thanks to the management of CTFM, and good morning to our cherished listeners. So CSIR is the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research.
Okay.
It's important to get the name right. We are not the center. It's rather the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research.
Right.
It's the Council because we have 13 institutes across Ghana with mandate into different areas. So if you've heard of Food Research Institute, which I guess you do, it's one of CSIR institutes. We have 6 in the Greater Accra region. Food Research Institute, we have Animal, we have Water Research Institute, we have Science and Technology Policy Research Institute, we have that of Information Technology, and then we also have the Institutes of Industrial Research.
Okay.
When you go to the Eastern region, we have 2 institutes. We have Oil Palm Research Institute.
Oil palm?
Yes,
wow.
Into coconut and oil palm production. And then we also have Plant Genetic Resources Research Institute, also in the Eastern region.
Right.
They are basically into the cultivation of spices and plant fruit.
Oh, cultivation of spices?
Yes, spices like rentia.
Right.
Yes. Black pepper, white pepper, and bitter cola and all that.
Wow.
And then if you go to the Ashanti region, specifically in Kumasi, we have 4 institutes. So we have Crops Research Institute, we have Forestry Research Institute of Ghana, we have Building and Road Research Institute, and we also have Soil Research Institute.
Okay.
Up north, we also have 1 institute, Savannah Agricultural Research Institute. So CSIR is a large community. We also operate under so many research centers besides the 13 institutes. The head office is situated here in Accra at Airport Residential Area.
Right.
Yes, so the act which establishes CSIR in this present form came into being in 1968. That's a little bit of history.
Yeah.
Now, what do we do?
Yeah.
And the different thematic areas.
But Naomi,
of
we want to
CSIR.
zero in now on the with respect to the event we are going to have. Which of your institutes are you inviting to collaborate with us with this AgriFair?
So Food Research Institute will be present.
Zion.
Yes, we have Oil Palm Research Institute.
Thank you.
We have Savannah Agricultural Research Institute.
Arokodo.
Forestry Research Institute of Ghana.
Sharp.
Crops Research Institute of Ghana.
Okay.
And then Water Research Institute.
So
and
Water
finally,
is where Sylvia is from?
yes, finally, Animal Research Institute.
Animal.
Yes.
Right.
So we fully represented.
Sometimes I like the food research, you know. That's where Thomas is coming from.
Sure.
Thomas, tell me about the food research.
Yes, food research, as our name signifies,
Food.
we are in charge of food,
Yes.
anything food.
Yes.
So we do research into food processing and preservation, safety and utilization, marketing and distribution. We talk of nutrition and food security, and we are supposed to advise government on its food security policies.
Great. Let me let Sylvia come in also. You are into water research, so how are you connected to the AgriFair we are having? Because we are looking at food, we are looking at opportunities, money, and all that. So Sylvia, talk to us. What do you have for us?
So we're into fish farming. That's aquaculture, and we'll be taking trainings in tilapia and catfish.
Nice.
And we have 3 models we'll be training in. That will be in fish farming, the table size.
Okay.
We'll do training in hatchery as well as fish feed production.
Hatchery?
Yes.
Fish feed. Yeah. And then you also be handling snail. Is that connected to you? Or that will be somewhere else?
So
that's you?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I'm giving your responsibility to someone else. Forgive me. I'm really interested in the snail because the snail, they won't run away. See, and they won't stress me. So I want to do that clinic. I don't know which one someone else is looking for it to, but let's talk about your models where you'll be dealing, training people and all.
So, I will represent Forestry Research Institute.
Okay.
By virtue of the fact that I'm also a resource person for the snail farming training and beekeeping. Yes. Even though I do represent all the institutes.
Okay, so your if you like your commercial duty is
across
the institutes.
Across. But
with head office.
Reference to this.
By your functionally your background exposes you to training for what? Snail
farming
snail
and
farming.
beekeeping.
What do you study to be able to go into these things?
You mean
in university?
No, you don't need to go to the university to become a good snail farmer.
Okay. Now, for the choice of you becoming the resource person.
So, our former director of Forestry Research Institute of Ghana, Professor Kobda, brought the snail farming technology into West Africa.
Oh, wow.
And as part of the capacity building program of the institute, he decided to train a lot of scientists and others who were also highly interested.
So you're a scientist, basically?
So I'm a marketer.
Oh, you're a marketer. Okay.
Profession.
All right. Okay, that's what I wanted to.
Yes, but interestingly, I have learned to become a good snail farmer and a beekeeper.
Wow. Oh, so it means that I can be a journalist and also learn to be a snail farmer.
Definitely. And even a fish farmer.
Come on.
And produce a lot of processed foods.
Okay. So during the AgriFair, you'll be teaching people how to venture into snail farming.
Yes.
Are there any specific types of snail that are recommended or...
Yes, we do have 3 common species in Ghana.
Okay.
But honestly, the market in Ghana normally opts for what we call Nwapa.
Nwapa, the brown and black stripes.
Yes, and the scientific name is Achatina achatina.
Hey.
I heard you say you want to opt for snail farming because they don't normally run.
They won't run away. They are just there.
You should never underestimate them. They do. They are very slow but sure.
Oh.
And then that's why the clinic is going to highlight the measures you should put in place to avoid that situation.
Achatina.
Yes, achatina.
So the snail farming, do you require a particular type of space to be able to get into snail farming? Say it has to be covered, it has to be enclosed, temperature-wise, all these things.
It depends. So with regard to the space, it depends. If you are doing it on the small scale, maybe for your personal consumption, you need half the size of this table.
Okay.
It's very fine.
Okay.
But if you want to go into the commercial production, then definitely you will need a bigger housing system.
Right.
So it could be a greenhouse, it could be a gallery system. And all these different housing systems will be taught at the training.
Okay.
Lovely.
And the source of feed for the snails also.
And the temperature, the soil.
Snail, do they eat?
They eat a lot. They eat over 300 different kinds of food.
Then don't say everything. When we come there, then you tell us. We want to move from the snail. No, we are going to the other thing. The bee. You have to do beekeeping.
I want to just add one interesting issue concerning snail farming.
Yeah.
Now the value chain is very huge. Gone were the days where, if you are a lover of snails, you realize that if you extract the snail, there are 2 substances that come out, liquids.
Yeah.
The slimy thing?
One is slimy, and the second is kind of bluish, light. Bluish.
Okay.
They all have medicinal properties. But the slime is also good for the cosmetic industry. So we have the cosmetic industry, we have the pharmaceutical companies.
You mean the slimy one?
The slimy one.
Ew.
And something interesting is that if you want to use the slime, the common practice is you have to kill the snail, get the slime, and let's say you apply to your face.
You the
It's a beauty
Can we
therapy.
move on to the bees, please?
No, they say it's beauty aspect.
So the value chain is also going to be highlighted
Oh
during
yeah.
the training.
So the snail, even the shell, people use it for aesthetic things.
Definitely.
So the slimy thing I'm learning for the first time is a beauty.
No, but it has to
something,
go
something.
through some processing. Please don't listen to us
and that
and
is
start
why
catching
food
snails and putting. Oh, okay. So that's snail.
Yeah.
And then now tell us about the
Bees.
bees, and then
Yeah.
we'll move to Thomas to talk about the other ones.
Normally, we like the honey which is being produced by bees.
Yeah.
But we are always afraid of bees.
Certainly.
Huh?
Good.
Certainly.
Yes.
It's
Certainly.
because
we
of what's
prefer
in
the
their
honey.
head, what's in their brain that they want to do to us.
So that is
Attack.
why we are encouraging members of the public to patronize the clinics in
Right.
beekeeping.
Right.
We want to control the fear. I wouldn't say take away the fear, but to control it so that you will get to know what you should do to raise, manage, and multiply your bees so that you all here will continue to have sustainable means of producing honey.
So tell me, the bees, can you do it at home?
For security purposes, it's not
Not
advisable.
recommended. Okay.
No.
And not
So
in
maybe you have
urban
a
areas
farm,
too.
Yes.
a farm, and then you can use a portion to do bee keeping,
Definitely.
right?
Yes.
So the bee, no. The bee, no.
The bee, no.
Omo ye jovial right now.
So snake near very jovial.
They don't sting.
They do. Ordinarily, bees wouldn't disturb
Unless
anybody
you disturb them.
Unless you disturb them. And some of the common disturbances are as a result of maybe use a very strong scented cream or perfume or spray.
Oh, tunale.
Or
Who used to tunale their own vegetable?
Yes.
Tunale.
Or what annoys them the most is that, bees produce honey not for you and I, but for themselves. They feed on them.
Oh, really?
Sure.
Wow.
So if you want to, I will always use the phrase, you want to steal their food.
Okay.
Then what do? They'll have to protect themselves, and that is why they stink.
Oh, okay.
If you don't disturb them, they are good
Naomi,
to move
will you?
about.
So let me. You are going to demonstrate how this beekeeping and honey production is done, right?
Yes.
So will you bring bees there?
Sure. We want to.
Hey. Are you
They will
bring
be well
PPEs?
protected.
Charlie. The bee will come to first Adonai Children's Park for demonstration purposes.
And then we also have testing of honey. We have a lot of adulterated honey on the market.
Yes.
So that aspect
So
has
bad,
to be
eh?
Yes.
Tell me, honey. You at times you put it you put it down, some of the fake ones, and then the thing will cake.
So how do you test
Is
the original
honey
one?
supposed to cake when you leave it?
I will rather use the word
Solidify.
or crystallization. So pure honey crystallizes. That is when you see some particles at the bottom.
Okay.
It's as a result of two factors. So, bees produce two sugars, fructose and glucose. As to why pure honey should crystallize, I will want to leave it here.
For
And
the
then
clinic,
continue.
no?
Yes.
Yeah.
at the
Welcome.
clinic.
But I get that. I get that because you see like sediments at the base.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one that it turns into a
Hard.
physical cake that you can actually break.
Honestly, I would say that we have a lot of adulterated honey on the market.
Yeah.
And pure honey should not have those properties.
I see.
So if you see something like that, it's always good to test. And be extra careful when purchasing honey. You don't have to even bother yourself. CSIR Forestry Research Institute produces.
Naomi,
When in doubt, call CSIR.
when in doubt,
Call
call Naomi. Oh, that's lovely.
So I'm sure you'll be teaching us also how to also spot original authentic honey on the market so that we can always choose the best when we see it. That's an interesting one.
Oh, nice. So we can now go to Thomas. Thomas is representing, is it the Food Research?
Yes, Food Research
Good.
Institute.
Tell me, is that crop research too?
Yes, please.
So there's crop research, there's food research.
Yes.
And what's the difference again?
The crops research, they handle pre-harvest.
Okay.
And we handle post-harvest.
Okay.
Value addition.
Value addition, yes.
Okay. So then we are seeing that over the period we've produced so much. And so you are going to tell us, with all that we are seeing, the plantain, the watermelon, and the bumper harvest we are seeing, you're going to teach us the technologies we can use to add value to all the food. So tell us some of the things we should expect at the clinic.
Yes, we have 1,001, let's say 32 different training models.
Wow.
But my boss here has tasked me to handle mushroom cultivation technology, and maybe to some extent fruit juice, marmalade, and jam as a package. Yeah, so these are the two that I would like to talk here. Because if I talk about everything today,
what will they say tomorrow? This man.
This place is roadside.
Oh my God!
So the mushroom. Now I'm interested. Yeah. That you have different varieties of mushroom,
yes.
right?
We have a lot in the market, in the world. I mean, in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Edible ones and non-edible ones, poisonous ones as well.
Yeah.
But we are going to talk about oyster.
Okay.
And to some extent, we'll touch on domo that you know in the villages. I mean, from the palm.
Yes, the one that grows around the palm trees.
Ganoderma. That one is medicinal. So the concentration here is going to be on oyster.
Okay. So tell me, how do you do it? Do you have seeds?
Yes, please.
So they are mushroom seeds?
Yes, please.
Really?
Wow.
So mushroom seed is called mycelium or mycelia in plural form.
Mycelia in plural form.
Plural. It's a mycelium.
Oh, sorry.
Singular, but mycelia.
So in local language, how do we call them?
In fact, it will be difficult. Yes. I will see Openia Kum and Co to see whether they can translate.
Mycelia.
Okay.
Mycelium. Yeah, mycelia. So, because you can't see them with your naked eye, we try to embed it on a cereal grain.
Okay.
So we normally use sorghum seeds.
Okay.
We embed it on it, and when it is cultured and grew, you see it whitish.
Okay.
On the cereal grain, meaning the seed is ready for planting, or in other words, inoculation in scientific terms.
Wow. So so that will be for the mushroom.
Yes. So that one is so technical, and because we can't bring the lab to a fair standard park, we'll concentrate on compost bag production.
Okay.
Compost bag here is the land. I normally tell people it is the land upon which you can plant your mycelia.
Okay.
So when you get them, that is the spawns.
Okay.
The seed is called the spawns. That spawns is inoculated on the compost bag, and within 6 weeks it should be ready for opening.
Okay.
You open it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot you're going to teach us. So much. So people, you are listening to us, and you've started thinking through to see what you can do. You've heard Naomi talk about beekeeping, snail farming, and you want to be part of the clinic, so you can register to be part. Call this number 0558 973 973. Okay,
right.
I repeat 0558 973 973. And now we will talk about the fish as well.
Correct.
And then come back. And then,
I want to just add something
go
about
ahead.
mushroom. Yeah. You know, the traditional mushroom we know, or the natural one are seasonal. Between January and February, I mean, it's gone.
It's done.
Everybody must come to learn this thing so that throughout the year you have it in your kitchen.
Or in your farm.
Ooh.
Wow.
Your kitchen here means for your table. You wouldn't need to be looking for, you don't get it. You can produce it on your own.
Wow.
Also because
there's no difference.
Come again?
There's no difference
from
in the taste.
natural.
There's no difference.
Wow.
Do you use fertilizer?
No. One thing about mushroom is that things that we throw away are the ones we use to cultivate mushroom farms.
Organic compost.
For example, yes, compost. I mean, we have this sawdust, the smooth one. The carpenters want you to come and take and throw it away for them.
Okay, so you can go harvest
it. Is the major
soil for mushroom.
Raw material for mushroom cultivation.
Wow. And
we'll learn a lot.
I'm telling you, snail and mushrooms too, they become very expensive.
Well,
and one could 12
we are finding a remedy to that.
Well, that's so
we are finding a remedy to that. Now we know.
If you know, you know. We're going to tilapia also and catfish. That business is huge. And you brought a sample, you know. So man, they brought something. Yeah, the catfish, and it's processed and packaged so beautifully. So take us through some of the things you're going to be teaching us when we sign up for the catfish and tilapia farming.
So
Sylvia.
Currently, statistics stands that there's a demand for fish, which is 1.3 million, but we're not able to 1.3 million tons.
Wow.
But we're not able to meet that. We're able to supply about 657 metric tons, thereby causing a deficit of about 650,000 metric tons.
Okay.
So in bridging this gap,
There's a huge market, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
We encourage individuals to go into fish farming as well as for commercial purposes.
Right.
And you know, in Ghana, we have a good weather for some of these activities.
Right.
There are there's fish farming that is done in the ponds, in the cages, and then even now in tarpaulin tanks. So we encourage people to join fish farming, and we'll be doing this during the agri-business fair.
So this doesn't matter the space I have, no matter the skill I want, I can definitely do some fish farming
and all.
And
you can do it in your backyard. If you've got a piece of land, you want to go into that, you contact us, we assess the sites, we go through the process with you, what you need to set up the farm and everything.
Right.
We train and then...
So Sylvia, if all I want to do, for example, is to deal in fingerlings, because I know people who are into the farming business, they might just need fingerlings, you're going to...
Yes, that will be with the hatchery training. We train you on how to start with the fingerlings, the process you go through. At a certain stage, you sell it. And I tell you what, the hatchery process is more lucrative.
Is it?
Yes. Because
where they are fingerlings now?
Yes.
Wow.
So we encourage individuals to
So from the hatchery all the way, what's the value chain like? Give me an idea, processing, and what else are you going to be teaching us, for example?
So from the hatchery stage, you get to the table size. So we train people as well on the table size, which is about 500 grams. That's where we sell.
Okay.
Like that size, so 500 grams. And we train people in this area.
Right.
We're also into fish feed formulation. So it's not always you want to go and buy from the producer. Sometimes we train you on the products to get the feed to feed your fish in your farm.
Okay, that's a good one. Sometimes there's also rabbits and
I want to find
chicken.
out from Naomi, what other areas are you going to offer training in?
Yes, so I was just about to come to that. So the training areas are, one, we'll be having training in coconut and oil palm production by the Institute of Oil Palm Research. And then food research, Thomas has already said it, mushroom and fruit juice training. CSIR up north, they will also be available for rapid multiplication of yam seeds using vine cutting. So what really is that technology?
So basically those who want to go into yam production farming,
and then the multiplication of those yam tubers that farmers will use for planting will also be touched on. Yes, then the Plant Genetic Resources Research Institute at Bunsu will also have training on spices and fruit tree crops production.
Right. Spices and fruit tree crops production. Wow.
And then animal research will have one on piggery.
Right.
And the second on rabbit rearing.
Very important. So animal research will be taking the piggery and rabbits.
Yes.
Adanko.
This is a whole semester's job.
I'm telling you.
And we are pushing all in 3 days.
I'm telling you. And some people, I'm sure, would want to do everything some. But you have to do your electives.
Well, just call and then see how it goes.
Yeah. So,
any others? No, Naomi, you are done.
Okay,
good. Cool. All right. So that's what to expect at the AgriFair. Yeah,
so if you just tuned in, we have the CSIR team here, and they are taking us through some of the training opportunities that will be available for those who want to go into farming or different types of farming. And we really do encourage you, now that you have the strength, you are working, you're a young person, and there's no Ghanaian who doesn't come from a village. If you don't come from a village, we should seize your Ghana card. Go to your village, go and find, as a popular boxer used to say, go and find some floor to farm. and then come to the AgriFair, to register for the clinics, and at least you will live with some knowledge.
And this is happening from the 20th to the 22nd.
Precisely.
So please do all to come by. And for those who are vendors who have secured spaces, if you have registered and you've not paid yet, you've not secured a space yet. So the number again is 0205 973 973. What excites me is that we are not just demonstrating, we're not just teaching also, but there are, processed ones that you can enjoy. There'll be kebabs made of beef, mutton, pork, and so much more. So it's a 5-in-1 multiple fold AgriFair happening at the Efua Sutherland Children's Park. Some comments have come in. Someone is drawing attention to the slimy liquid. No, someone says it can be used to revive a person who suffers seizures immediately.
The snail. So traditional medicine says that it can be used for so many things.
The slimy way.
Yes.
Well, that's why we didn't. That's why we didn't say.
MD has not approved it either. Hey, Charlie. So this was a scale of I'm a tilapia businessman. Growing tilapia is no joke. Catfish is way easier. Ezekiel from Dodoa. That's correct.
Yes.
So catfish is which one? What how do we call it in Akan language?
P3.
In Akan.
Yes.
Catfish.
Adjuni.
And what is adjuni?
P3, that is the typical name.
And this is Akan?
No, hang on. I believe adjuni is not, but it can be centered on only catfish.
Adjuni is a group of.
The group of.
Okay, so the type that
especially the one
they can turn like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that not what they call akosombo or something?
Yeah. Well, that's just a type. So,
yeah, that's a type.
Oh, so generally the adjunate type is the catfish, right? And you say it's easier to do that than the tilapia.
Why is that?
Catfish grows in muddy water. The water is not supposed to be not necessarily clean.
Okay, but tilapia you need to.
Yeah,
so Ezekiel is right.
They endure anything.
The endurance fishes. Yes. Okay. Will there be training on black shoulder flies? What is that?
No. We are not doing that one. We're not doing it.
Black shoulder flies.
No, soldier flies.
Soldier.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't know what that is.
Animal research does training in that area, so it's good to be present, even if you are interested in that, because there will be scientists and staff from animal research. So they will whet their appetite and tell them the next training date.
People are bringing in new courses.
Well, we will do poultry. Poultry will come from another side. I think AgriImpact will be doing poultry.
Fantastic.
But for those of you who are listening, you want to take part in the sessions, it's 0558 973 973. Just call this number and then Magdalene and the team will help you.
We'll take care of you.
But if you have registered for the AgriFair as a vendor, you're a farmer, you own a farming company, you want to take part, please call the number and go and pay. Great. Because sometime next week we'll cut it off and then we'll be free from all the problems.
There'll be beekeeping. There will be, clinics on beekeeping. Will give you introductions to coconut and oil palm. Rapid multiplication of yam. That's going to happen. And there's one on from soil to sale, maximizing farm productivity and profits. Yes. And then also from seed to profit, quality production and smart marketing. Naomi, what are we to expect with these other topics that we are going to take care of with respect to the farm productivity and profits?
So we are looking at best practices with our farming systems. CSIR also is highly interested in that research in food security, so as to reduce poverty and for sustainable job creation. Right. And that is why we want to seize the opportunity, use this platform to engage with the farmers, to introduce them to best practices in the farming systems that have been brought on board by research institutes like CSIR. Remember, CSIR is the National Formal Science and Technology Institution.
Solid.
So any technology you get from CSIR, can rest assured that it's the best.
Top notch.
We also offer technical backstopping.
Okay.
So it's not only the issue of the clinics or the training sessions. We are also going to follow up with the technical backstopping to ensure that beneficiaries of these training sessions are really into productivity on the commercial scale.
Okay.
So we are inviting members of the public to be present, seize the opportunity to engage CSR and benefit from the technologies we have to offer. Absolutely. Remember, we are also going to bring on board our commercial products.
Super.
It's not only the clinics.
Super.
So we have the precursor, the honey, the catfish, the tilapia, the fufu flour, the pancake.
It's coming.
And everything.
And these are products that you have created yourselves.
Wow.
I think that's the whole.
That's
we like to look at it from the entire chain.
Completely.
So that people can see where it started from farm to table.
Sharp.
So basically, those products are the outcomes of all the research in CSIR.
That's exciting. Thank you, Thomas Naji, CSIR Food Research Institute. He's the head of commercialization division there. And Sylvia Mponsa is with Water Research Institute. And then Mrs. Naomi also appears. She's the director of commercialization.
I like the way you pronounce my name.
Naomi.
Naomi.
More